There's a game that you may well have heard of, you may well have played it. It's called Two Truths and a Lie. The object of the game is that in order to get to know people, you tell three things about yourself. You say two things that are true and one thing that is not true, and everyone has to guess which one of those is the lie. It's often done as a game to introduce people to one another, which I find a bit odd, because basically starting off any friendship or any relationship with someone by intentionally telling them a lie. But this morning I want to look at the truth of the cross. And I think we've talked in the last few Sundays about the spiritual battle that we're in. And one of the big weapons that the enemy uses is the lie. And so this morning I want to just look at a few things that are said on the cross. So there's truth on the cross, there's truth at the cross that is important for us to know. And so I want to look at 4 lies that the world tells us and 4 truths that we can see by looking at Jesus on the cross. Lewis read out that passage of scripture. It says, consider him. Consider him. So we need to consider Jesus. So this morning I'm saying, let's look at the cross and consider Jesus while he was there. And then later on, we're going to be taking some of the lies that are in our life and sticking them to the cross so that they can be dealt with by Jesus. And lie number 1 is this: God can't forgive what I've done. You might think you've done something so wrong that God couldn't forgive you for it. Maybe it's shameful or embarrassing. Maybe you think it was too awful that when you think about it, you think, I can't even think how someone would forgive that. Maybe it's not one individual thing, but the sheer volume of things. Maybe God could forgive me 5 or 6 times, but actually, man, this is a repeat offence. It's just so much. Well, truth number 1 of the cross is this: God can forgive you. The debt is paid in full. Jesus, when he was on the cross, spoke these words from Luke 23, verse 34. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. Brothers and sisters, in response to the lie that God couldn't forgive you, we need to know 2 things. The first is that however bad we think it was, however shameful, however wicked, however damaging and dreadful, however many sins you can recall and count, the reality is there are far more and they are much worse than we judge them to be. God is so perfect and so holy that even the smallest of sins is an offence to him. When he says they don't know what they're doing, when we sin, we don't know what we're doing. I don't think we fully grasp the magnitude of what we're doing. That's the bad news. The good news is, and the second thing we need to know about this is that God knows the number and severity of all of our sin, and Jesus' death on the cross has paid the debt for them in full. There's not a little bit to make up, it's paid in full. Jesus didn't die for a good cause. He wasn't someone who had a message to get out and people didn't like his message and so they killed him. He didn't just die for a good cause. There wasn't a media outcry. There wasn't sort of media attention because Jesus died. He was saving the world. Stuart Townend, in his song From the Squalor of a Borrowed Stable, which tells the story of Jesus' birth right through to death, says this: through the kisses of a friend's betrayal, he was lifted on a cruel cross. He was punished for a world's transgressions. He was suffering to save the lost. He fights for breath, he fights for me, loosing sinners from the claims of hell. And with a shout, our souls are free, death defeated by Emmanuel. Jesus' death was a substitutionary death. He took our place. He received our punishment. Isaiah 53, the well-known passage. He was pierced for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him. Jesus' death wasn't just for a good cause, it was achieving something. He was saving the world as he died. God can forgive our sin because he has taken our sin and put it on Jesus and dealt with it at the cross. The second lie is this: God doesn't want people like me. Jesus wasn't crucified alone. There were two others with him, as we saw in that video. One mocked, and the other said this. This is again in Luke 23. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And Jesus on the cross says, I tell you the truth, today you'll be with me in paradise. This man who asked Jesus to remember him is often referred to as the first one home. The first one to get to be with Jesus. Because Jesus says, you'll be with me today, you'll be with me in paradise. Sometimes he's referred to as the thief on the cross. At times they're referred to as robbers or bandits. But in his book, Voice from the Hills, Philip Greenslade says this: in all likelihood, these two men were political revolutionaries whose armed robberies had funded insurrection against Rome. They were just the sort of criminals for whom crucifixion was fiendishly intended. The first one home was, in today's language or parlance, a terrorist. That's who these guys were. God doesn't want just everyone, he wants you. God doesn't just tolerate you. God made you, he formed you. He took special care and attention over you and over me. We are human beings crafted in his image. And all of that has been marred and tainted by sin. But through the cross, we've not only been forgiven our wrongs, but we've been given the righteousness of Jesus Christ. It's often called the great exchange. We exchange our sin for his righteousness. There's an exchange that's happened. If you put your trust in God, then that is what he's done for you. When he looks at you, he doesn't see your faults and your failings. He sees his son Jesus. He sees the righteousness of Jesus. And he's delighted in us. When he looks on us, he looks at us with the same affection that he looks on Jesus. Line number 3 says this: God doesn't care about me or what I'm going through. He doesn't care about my situation. Maybe you, okay, that's great, sin's dealt with, yeah, God, he looks at me lovingly, but it's all a bit out here in ethereal. Where's the practical? Does God really care about what's practically going on? The truth number 3 is this: God loves you and he knows what you need better than you know yourself. This is John 19, verses 26 and 27. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." And he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." We'll talk a little bit about what crucifixion is actually like on Sunday. This is a guy who Jesus is being crucified. He's been tortured, he's in physical agony, and yet he looks to his mother and to arguably his best mate and says, "Mum, this is your son, you need to look after him because he's going to need you now. Mum, brother, this is your new mum, you need to look after her because she's going to need looking after." Jesus is on the cross, concerned with the practicality of who's going to look after his mum and his best mate. In Matthew 6, Jesus, speaking about prayer, says that the Father knows what we need before we ask. The lesson being taught there is not, let's not say anything to God because he already knows, but it's saying, just, God knows what you need. We can just simply say, "God, please help me in this situation." Romans 8:32 says, "He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also with him graciously give us all things? God knows your situation and he cares for you. Line number 4 is that we can earn God's love. Maybe you've heard this one, maybe you tell yourself this one subtly. I was on the welcome team this morning. God must really love me. Oh, I put out those chairs and no one saw me. God must really love me. This is a lie that I think we know the truth, but so easily it creeps in. And we think, oh, I've let God down, now I need to do something to make him pleased with me. John 19:30 says this: when Jesus had received the drink, he said, "It is finished." The truth is, it's finished. We're not loved by God because of what we've done. We're loved by him because of what Jesus did on the cross on our behalf. Ephesians 2:8-9 says this: "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." Jesus said of himself, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Jesus is the truth. There are lies that are told to us that are constantly being told to us, but we need to consider Jesus as the source of truth. That needs to be our focus. I encourage you this morning, spend some time looking at Jesus, looking at what he says. When a lie comes to you, when something comes into your mind, don't just accept it. Don't just swallow it down by saying, actually, I'm going to measure this against the yardstick of the truth of Jesus Christ. There are lies that would easily creep in and rob us of a life serving and enjoying a relationship with God and his people. You may have a lie that's come to mind even as I've been speaking. One I've heard a lot of recently is the lie, I don't feel like I fit in. Why do you say that? I'm not really sure. There's lies that people are struggling with. Let's encourage one another with the truth. Take some time today, not just this morning, but take some time today to go and read the passages of Jesus' crucifixion. Listen to the words that he says from the cross.